We have Economics paper 3, January 2025. For question 1, I said, Exotica is a French-Italian company based in Italy. It sells sunglasses in an imperfectly competitive market. In 2022, its net profit was 3.28 billion. Which one of the following conditions is necessary for Luxottica to maximize its profit? Marginal revenue cost to marginal cost. Well, it's an imperfect market. In an imperfect market, the firms maximize their profit at the position of where marginal revenue cost to marginal cost. So at that point, they will have supernormal profit, and that can also be drawn as a graph. Let me see if I can use this. So the help of question 1 is A. So let's assume this is a graph. And we have our marginal revenue, marginal cost, sorry. Then we have our marginal revenue. We have our average revenue. We have the price here. Then we have that's P1, C1, Q1. Then the average cost. That's AC. So this is equilibrium where MC equals to M out. Then there's a point where there's supernormal profit at this point. So for question 1, it is A. Question 2. Sony, an electronic company and under a vehicle manufacturing company have collaborated to develop a new electric car. Which one of the following best describe this type of arrangement? Cooperative, state-owned enterprise, joint venture, horizontal integration. Sony is a private company. Honda is also another private company coming together to form a new project or to develop a new project or to start up a new project is a joint venture. So for question 2, it's C. For question 3. For question 3, it said the elasticity of demand for labor for workers in the shipbuilding industry in France is estimated to be negative 0.88. Which one of the following is most likely to cause the demand for labor to be inelastic? Demand for labor will be inelastic if labor can be easily substituted by capital. That will make it elastic. The workers are all members of a trade union. That is supply of labor. There's a large supply of labor available to work in the industry. That's still supply of labor. No. Labor costs are a small percentage of total cost. That means the cost of labor is less. And if the cost of labor is reduced, it's an incentive to employ more workers, and the demand for labor is expected to rise. So for question 3, it's D. Question 3, D. To question 4. The diagram shows marginal cost and average total cost and average variable cost curve for a profit maximizing sweet corn producer in Argentina operating in perfectly competitive markets. Which one of the following prices at which one of the following prices would the producer sell sweet corn in the short run but short down in the long run? Short run, short down. Short run, short down, okay, or short run, long run, short down. Let's see. At P1, selling at P1, the price, selling at P1, it's able to, let's see, at P1, it's able to sell above the average variable cost at P1. And that would still make the firm to operate in the short run, not in the long run. So at P1, it's going to cover up its variable cost. So it's still going to operate in the short run. P2, at P2, its marginal cost. It's selling, let's see the average variable cost. At P2, it's selling above the average variable cost. So it will not consider shorting down in the short run. Let's see. It's selling above it, but what happens here is that in the short at P2, it's selling above the variable cost, but it's not able to cover up its average total cost. Hold on, please. At P2, the firm will be able to the firm is able to cover up its variable cost because it's able to sell above the variable cost, but it's unable to cover up its average total cost. So at P2, the firm will consider shorting down in the long run. So the answer for question 4 is B. But let's look at other options. Question 4 is B. But at P3, the firm is able to sell, that's normal profit. AR equals to ATC, so that's normal profits. There's nothing like shutting down there. At P4, the firm is able to sell above its average total cost. It would make supernormal profit only. Yeah. So it's not. So the answer for question 4 is B. Question 5. Say in 2019, the European Union fined Qualcomm, a semiconductor manufacturer, 242 million euros for setting its price below its average variable cost. Which one of the following best describe this pricing strategy? Marginal cost pricing now, limit pricing. Limit pricing would only allow the firm for limit pricing, it's still going to be able to make profits. Predatory pricing. Predatory pricing would kick other firms out of the market, and it's going to discourage firms from coming into the market. So let's see, okay, price discrimination, no, that's selling at different prices to different customers for the same products. So the answer for question 5 is C. Question 5, C. Question 6. So which one of the diagram illustrates the total revenue curve for a profit maximizing firm operating in a perfectly competitive market? A, downward. No. It's B, what they choose. Let's see. Yeah, okay. A is downward. That's the demand curve there. B talks about the AR, yeah. And C talks about the fixed cost. And this is also average total revenue curve, but it's going downward. For profit maximizing firm, its average revenue must be greater than the average cost. So it's C. It's B. Sorry, let's see. Question 7. Let's see. Market concentration. Okay. Question 7. Question 7. Question 7A. Let me see. Okay. With reference to figure 1, calculate the 4-firm concentration ratio of the global fast food industry. 4 concentration firm ratio here, we have McDonald's, we have Starbucks, we have, what else do we have here? Then we have KFC and Subway. The other that is still one, Burger King is 1.2. The 4 concentration, except 4-firm concentration are this. So we have to add them together. That's 21.4 plus 7.5. McDonald's is even doing well than Starbucks. 7.5 plus 2.8 plus 2.8. And that gives us, let's see, calculator. We have 21.4 plus 7.5 plus 2.8 plus 2.8. 34.5. So that's 34.5. So we go to question 7B. We try to extract C. Explain what is meant by organic growth. 7B. Organic growth is described as internal growth of a firm, such as increasing sales revenue, entering new market, or opening new stores. Example given in the extract, McDonald's opened a new cafe called Smith's. That's organic growth. Organic growth means the firm is growing using its own resources. So that's about that. Let's see what happens.
You have to
Tap it again, huh? Okay.
is it green?
No, it's blue.
Tap on it again. So it's green.
Okay. So that's about that. So go on to question. That's question 7. B, go to 7C. Or 7C. With regards to extract A, analyze 2 reasons why the global fast food market is expected to grow. Let's see. According to the extract A, between 2010 and 2021, the population living in cities increased by approximately 1 billion, which means there are more potential customers that would use fast food outlets. This rise in demand is caused mainly since people have less time to prepare food. Yeah, so increase in population will bring about increase in demand. Another factor is affordability. Lower real incomes makes people sustain substitutes from expensive food to fast food meals. So a fall in income, a fall in real income makes fast food becomes more cheaper compared to homemade food, right?
Mhm.
Okay, 6 points. Okay, that's about that. So go to question D. Question D said, okay. With reference to the last paragraph, extra B, examine the likely impact on McDonald's profits by switching to suppliers that use more ethical, sustainable methods of production. Illustrate your answer in an appropriate diagram. Okay, let's see the diagram. Average revenue, marginal revenue, cost. New firms are coming in. Okay, let's see. There will be a rise in, is there a rise in this average cost or fall in average cost? A fall in average cost. We'll see. Economic is likely part on McDonald's profit by switching to suppliers that use more ethical and sustainable methods of production. The rise in cost and the rise in price. Okay. So to MC1. Okay. Average revenue stays. Okay. According to the extract, McDonald's is aiming to switch to suppliers with sustainable uh, fish feeds for fish, deforestation-free supply of beef. This is beneficial as it provides a healthier product with increased quality for consumers, attracting new customers that were hesitant because of this reason. However, it also comes with an increased cost of production for McDonald's, which may pass it on with higher prices for consumers. It's also important to consider the magnitude of the increased cost. Improvements in sustainable farming may reduce prices. Consumers may be willing to pay more for ethical sourced food, offsetting cost increase. Okay, graph is there. Okay, there's going to be an increasing cost from C to C1. Then the price will rise from P to P1. Okay. Okay. So we have this. It's going to be what we could represent that as this. Mhm. 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 Um, Go to question E. So with reference, okay, you stop at question D. You stop at D.
Mhm.
Okay. 1 second.